Hi YouTube shooters. Wow, I have watched just about all of your videos, seriously, and have benefited from this great community a ton. I've been much too chicken to make my own video until now. I'm making this one because I want to document my first IDPA participation. I promise I won't be referring to what I'm doing as competition. I was not at all competitive, not even close. But I enjoyed the day and learned a lot, and want to document some of those things that I learned and maybe lay a baseline here in this video for some future improvement and theory and strategy. I grew up with guns, mainly long guns. I did quite a lot of hunting as a younger guy. But I was pretty inexperienced with handguns. Like so many responsible citizens, I guess, I was considering more my Second Amendment right, my need and desire to defend myself, my possessions, people that I love. And about 8 or 9 weeks ago, I purchased my first handgun. This is not that handgun that I purchased, actually. The one that I bought 8 or 9 weeks ago was a Glock 34, 9mm full-size, actually more than full-size, competition-size model pistol. I shot it. I've been shooting once or twice a week consistently since my beginning 8 or 9 or 10 weeks ago, however long it's been. And during that time, I suppose, my thinking has evolved a little bit. When I bought that Glock 34, I didn't really think that I would ever want to carry. I bought that more for home protection, for kind of world without rule type scenario. As I thought more about it, though, I thought that I should put myself in a position to carry and go the route of a CPL, even if just for the convenience of transporting my firearms to the range, shooting with friends, future purchase of firearms. You know, all of these things are made much easier by having a CPL. So about that time, there was a fellow who owned this gun, actually, and he was moving in the opposite direction from me. He wanted something a little bigger. I was wanting something a little smaller. He made a wonderful offer to me, threw in a lot of extras, and so we traded guns. And this is the 26 Glock, the subcompact 9mm, that I have really enjoyed shooting a whole lot. I used it in my participation in that IDPA match. I realize that this is not probably the ideal model for most folks who shoot IDPA. Ironically, the Glock 34 was a model that I saw a whole lot more of that day. But this was the one that I used. This is the gun that is going to be my carry gun. I've applied for my CPL along with just about everybody else in the country. I was told to expect some pretty lengthy delays. I haven't gotten it yet, but it's on its way. And when it arrives, this is the gun that I'm going to be glad to carry. I used this in that IDPA match. I did amazingly horrible in that match. I was nervous. I arrived very early. I arrived to the match actually with no real intentions to compete, to participate, I should say. And Prior to the match, I called the organizer, asked him if it would be alright for me to come and spectate. He graciously said sure. He encouraged me to bring my gear with me. My gear is very entry level, minimal. It's a good start, but I realize you can go pretty deep with this stuff. These are some humble beginnings. So I arrived very early. I saw a lot of the squads participate in the 5-stage event. This was held at a club that I've shot at before. And each of the stages was pretty small compared to some of the ones that I've seen videos for on YouTube. Each stage, I would estimate, had anywhere between 10, 12, maybe 16 to 18 shots, but no more. So the stages were pretty small. I watched all of them, got a good feel for things, met a lot of nice people, saw a lot of cool guns, saw a lot of shooting skill and talent. The very last squad was getting ready to go, and I decided I would participate in it. It was at the very end of the day. I was feeling comfortable. I didn't want to leave without taking advantage of the opportunity to participate. So I suppose it's a victory in that end. But, man, I did horribly. I learned a lot. I was rushing way too much. I saw so many people doing so well and shooting fantastically. I thought that, I could come close to that. Boy, I was wrong. A highlight of the day, I guess, was on my second stage when I did pretty well. I was moving good. I was shooting steel and got through that stage pretty quickly and pretty cleanly. Not flawlessly by any means, but all in all, for a hacker like myself, not too bad. And that drew some oohs and ahs from my few squad members. That was the highlight of the day. The low light of the day was the very next stage, when I was moving down range is where I should have always pointed my pistol. And I was moving from right to left. And as I turned to move to the left, my pistol turned with me. I didn't keep it down range. And that immediately sent out a chorus of muzzle, 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 muzzle commands. That, of course, flustered me on a number of levels. I felt horribly for making that mistake. I really did. And I corrected that. I didn't do very well at any point during the day. But in the subsequent stages, I made sure not to make that mistake again. And I hope never to make that mistake again. All in all, it was a good day. I learned a lot. I learned that I don't need to invest in another competition gun anytime soon. This one right here can see me through a lot of improvement. What I want to do is just improve with this gun. I believe I can get to a point where I can hit all of my targets. I didn't do that on my first event. I can get to that point with this pistol here. I do intend to change these sights. These are not very friendly to my eyes. But I believe I have a lot of room to improve, and I can make a ton of improvements with this gun. And I'm going to keep using it. I'm going to keep participating, which I guess is a victory in its own right. I'm going to keep participating and continue to use this gun here until whatever point that the gun is holding me up. Whenever my failure to improve is because of the gun, then I might look at another option. But I have a lot of room to improve, and I want to keep on working at it. Keep on getting better and practice dry firing a lot and doing the good drills. I also think I might do a few more sit-ups. Everyone with their tucked-in shirts kind of puts a lot of attention on the midsection, and I could stand to do a few more sit-ups, maybe some curls too. I might get a few more cool jiu-jitsu shirts to wear during the matches. I'm certainly not going to turn any heads with my shooting skills yet, but I want to get better. This thing runs pretty deeply, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing so far, and want to keep it up.